All right, so decor. We love getting decor shots because they're usually when we can make things look really cool and they're really good to kind of just place throughout the film. So you want to have some good cinematic decor shots that you can put in. But the cool thing with decor is you can be so creative with it. I meet some people who say, oh, you have to get decor shots with sliders, or you have to do it handheld, or you have to do it with a light or without a light. And really with decor, what you're going to want to do is think about your own style. And so if you wanted to make it more cinematic, maybe it's more locked down on a tripod, slider shots. But if your style is more organic and adventurous, maybe you're gonna, handhold as you film the decor. Or if it's more, like glitz and glam and really stylistic, maybe you'll use prisms and maybe you'll, use an off-camera light and do it on a tripod and do all these things. And we've done all of those things. You really want to think about who's my couple, what's their style, and what's the theme for this video. So when we're thinking about decor, a key thing that we think about is have a plan. So at every wedding, there's going to be ceremony decor, and that's the chairs that are set up, that's the flowers on the chairs, the, everything around the ceremony site, and then there's reception decor. So before the wedding, map out like, okay, these are kind of the shots I'm going to get. I'm going to maybe get a wide shot of the whole ceremony setup. Then I'm going to get a close-up of the flowers. And then if they have maybe, seat handouts where they put on everyone's seat, this is how I'm going to shoot that. Same with reception. Almost every wedding has a head table. Every wedding has beautiful table settings, has a cake. So plan out beforehand exactly which shots you're going to get. That way, when you arrive to the situation, you're just like, bam, I know what I'm going to get. Because if you don't, you're going to get there and be like, oh, what should I film? Should I film over here, over there? And then 30 minutes goes by and you finally get your first shot and it's time to, do the grand entrance. So you don't want that happening. So do that, plan it out. And then limit yourself when you're filming decor. So literally say, I have 15 minutes to get all the shots I need. And if I don't get them in that 15 minutes, too bad, I gotta move on. Because by limiting yourself, you actually start to think about how many times you slide with the slider and how many times you pan over and get the same shot. You really want to limit so that you get everything that you need. And then also with decor, sometimes the situation is just bad. So say the reception, where you walk in and the lighting's really funky or the background's really bad. Don't let that ruin your shots. Always think, how can I make this better? So one thing we do if there's bad lighting is we try to turn off all the lights in the ballroom and just light the table with one of our lights. That looks so much better and more cinematic, and it allows you to make it really, really cool. Another idea is sometimes there's some of the tables have little candle lights that are lit. And what you could do is kind of move that into the background of what you're filming. Say you're filming some cups or some glasses. You can add a little bit of oomph to your shot by just having that little flickering candlelight in the back. So just think of, how can I make this better? So another thing kind of off of making the situation better is sometimes on the table, there's things that are kind of distracting. Like they'll have salt and pepper shakers on the table, which kind of look lame, or some butter, like a little butter tray, which doesn't look that cinematic or that close to the style of the wedding. So what you're going to want to do is kind of just move those things off the table. Or, I know when I was first shooting weddings, the tables were set up a certain way and I felt really awkward about moving things around, but feel free to do that. Make it look really, really good. And so that's really, really key. And then another thing is with decor shots, if you have slow motion on your camera, film the decor shots in slow motion, because what that'll allow you to do, especially on a slider, is quickly do 1, 2, 3 passes and not have to worry about like, oh my gosh, I gotta make this slide perfect. Because if they're semi-slow, you can always slow it down even further when you're editing because you shot it in slow motion. And then one of the last tips is film decor as if you're filming a commercial for the reception decor or filming a commercial for the ceremony decor. You actually want to think, okay, if I was making a 30-second spot, how many shots would I get to make it really engaging? And just being in that frame of mind really helps you get some amazing shots. And then also another key thing with decor is you generally want to actually film on tighter lenses. So this is going to mean like 50s, 85s, because what that does is it compresses the image. It makes it more intimate. So if your background's not the best, you can use a tight lens and it pulls everything in. It makes, you have beautiful out of focus background and you might be filming like some flowers or the table settings, and it just makes it more intimate and cinematic. And so that's really important for decor. And then what you also want to do is you want to make sure, because the couple spent so much money on setting up the ceremony and the reception, you want to get a couple wide shots, because that's just going to make the couple love you and make sure, and it's going to help you tell the story the best way possible. So those are our top tips for decor, and below what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of our favorite decor shots that we get, which lenses we use, and how we set those up.